again, here I am still. Yeah, I survived the deadly disease, and in fact I've had the 2 shots and now the booster, and now I'm starting to go out into society and dare that little bug to come and infect me again and see what happens, because you can't just hide away forever, can you? And I haven't been doing any videos for a while either. I started off by videoing my progress on the allotment because I thought that would be fun, but it's got boring, I'm afraid. I might still do some updates on the allotment. At the moment it's kind of waterlogged and windswept. We've had a forecast of huge gales today, possibly storms, possibly something even stronger, I don't know, tornadoes, hurricanes, whatever. We're in the southeast corner of England, so it probably won't be quite so bad. It will be the west that will catch it first. But here I am, snug and cosy indoors, and thinking, how can I possibly get myself a public platform? Because the thing is, I need a following, and I'd be ever so grateful if you would follow me if you think what I'm saying is at all vaguely interesting. So I'll get on with it and say something interesting. I've worked out a new format for my videos. I'm going to try and put a bit more thought into them. And every video is going to have something that makes me really indignant. I'm never short of that sort of material. And just to round it off, something that makes me happy. So today's thing that makes me indignant is the post office scandal, which you may not have heard of. It's a British thing. It only came into the public eye fairly recently, but it starts years ago. In the early 2000s, I don't remember exactly when, we started our bookselling business, and we used to have to take our bags down to the post office to be picked up by the post office van. The postmaster was a florid young man who, I don't know, he was very young, and he had a couple of lady assistants. They seemed quite busy. There were always lots of people there. Nowadays we only have one postmistress, and it has changed over the years. It seems like the sort of job that not many people can sustain for very long. In the old days you would have the postmistress who was there for life. But anyway, this young man, who was our postmaster, disappeared one day. And the girls told me that there had been fraud, and he just, you know, he'd gone. They closed the post office. It remained shut for a while, and then it reopened with somebody else taking charge. And I never heard what happened. And then sometime later there was something on the radio about some kind of miscarriage of justice. It was a postmistress in Wales who had been falsely accused. But recently it's all come out. There were over 700 of these postmasters and postmistresses who were taken to court by the post office, the official organ for distributing mail in the UK, prosecuted for fraud. Yeah, they were supposed to have embezzled various amounts of money because the post office had imposed on them a new IT accounting system. It was a piece of software which they didn't know how it worked. They were just told, you have to enter these figures at the end of every day, and if you can't enter those figures, then it's your fault, and we're going to demand that you repay the shortfall. So they could never make these figures match, and as I say, over 700 were actually taken to court, and many of them ended up in jail. I have no idea how many of them committed suicide, but all of them had their lives ruined by this assumption that a piece of software could be more correct, even though, like, on a daily basis, people were saying, but I can't make it add up, it's not working. So that makes me really indignant, and I still don't know what happened to my young postmaster. Did he go to jail? Did he commit suicide under stress? A lot more needs to come out on this issue. If something seems to be wrong in your business, challenge it, for goodness sake. Don't just take it lying down. It's not your fault necessarily. It's just scandalous. So now we come on to the thing that makes me happy. And it's hard to find something in the news that makes anybody happy. They seem to pick out the worst things all the time, don't they? So in my personal life, what makes me happy is that I have finally I think it's the third time I've tried to write the story of my life, and I'm coming to the end of it. I'm editing it up, and I'm looking around to find ways of sharing it with the world, and I'm realizing that billions of other people are doing exactly the same thing, and my chances of being published are like that big. Maybe even that big. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to focus on presenting my story in other ways. So I'm going to make little stories and put them on YouTube. I already did some. I may rehash them because I had different accounts and it's all over the place. So this is going to be where I'm going to be posting my stories about my life. And if it's interesting, keep watching. And if it isn't, fair enough. Can't please everybody all the time. But one just has to do these things. I'm nearly 70 and I feel like I have things I want to say. And even if I say them into an electronic void, I'm going to say them. Okay, see you next time. Bye.